Listening Library presents Marvel Storybook Collection, Marvel Storybook Collection, and 5-Minute Marvel Stories by Marvel Press. Read for you by Emily O'Brien.
Spider-Man. Short Circuit. Peter Parker was at the movies with his best friends, Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. Suddenly, the whole theater went pitch black. "Oh man," groaned Miles. "They were just about to catch the bad guys." An usher addressed the complaining crowd. "Sorry, folks," he said. "We're having a power outage. Must be due to the lightning storm outside." Lightning storm? The three friends exchanged worried looks. "Let's check it out," said Gwen. Outside in Times Square, the scene was frantic. Someone had taken over all the city's power. "My spider sense is tingling," murmured Gwen. Miles nodded. "Mine too." "That makes 3 of us," confirmed Peter. "One day I'd like my spider sense to point me to the nearest hot dog vendor." The 3 heroes quickly ducked into an alley to change into their spider costumes. "It looks like Electro is up to his old tricks," said Peter. "He wants to use the city's electricity to strengthen his superpowers." "We need to stop him before this becomes dangerous," said Gwen. Suddenly, there was a loud crash as a truck collided with a car. Following the pull of his spider sense, Miles directed his attention to a strange sound nearby. Zzz. Miles heard a loud buzzing and followed it down to the subway tunnels, only to find Electro. He was absorbing the energy from the subway rails. Miles accidentally kicked a stray soda can, attracting Electro's attention. "What's this?" Electro smirked. "Another Spider-Man?" Thinking quickly, Miles fired a venom blast at the supervillain and missed. "You must still be in training," Electro laughed. Angered, Miles tried again, this time with his web shooters, but Electro shot back with a lightning bolt that knocked him out cold. "You better come with me, mini spider," Electro said, as he tossed Miles over his shoulder. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind the supervillain. "Electro, why so blue?" Thwip! Ghost Spider fired her web shooters, trying to capture Electro. Zap! Electro blasted lightning bolts and knocked a stunned Ghost Spider backward. Spider-Man leapt up onto the ceiling and tried to wrap a web around the limp Miles to pull the hero toward him. Whoosh! Just then, a train came thundering through the tunnel. Spider-Man grabbed Ghost Spider just in time. They clung to the wall as the train roared past. Once it was clear, they hopped down and looked around. The train was gone, and so were Electro and Miles. The web slingers searched New York City, hoping to track down their friend and their not-so-friendly enemy. Meanwhile, at the city's energy control center, Electro had taken Miles and the facility's workers prisoner. He stood in front of a giant control panel. "Once I hack into the system, I will be unstoppable," Electro crowed. "I think you've caused enough mischief for today," Spider-Man said, as he burst into the room. While Electro was distracted, Ghost Spider crept in quietly and freed Miles. Before Electro knew what hit him, she swooped in and fired a pair of webs that pinned Electro against the wall. But Electro quickly broke free. "Mwah!" he roared, electricity coursing through him. Then he fired a supercharged lightning bolt that sent all 3 wall crawlers ducking for cover. "Miles," whispered Ghost Spider. "Your venom blast! It's the only way!" Miles was hesitant. What if he missed again? "Don't worry," Spider-Man encouraged Miles. "We'll do this together." Ghost Spider quickly shot webs at Electro, while Spider-Man leapt into the air and tackled him to the ground. "This place is crawling with bugs," hissed Electro, Now! Ghost Spider called to Miles. Miles summoned his courage and fired his venom blast at Electro, shocking the supervillain while he was fully charged. Immediately, Electro began to short-circuit. With Electro in custody, the trio changed and headed back toward the theater. "Thanks for having my back," Miles told his friends. "You guys showed me that being part of a team also helps you become great on your own." "And you are a really important part of this team," said Gwen with a smile. "Wow, my spider sense is tingling," said Peter. "Mine isn't," began Miles, until he nearly ran into a hot dog cart. Miles laughed. "Movies, hot dogs, and catching bad guys. This is definitely the right team for me." Black Widow. The Wonders of Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff, the Avenger, known as Black Widow, was raised in Russia by a man named Ivan Petrovich, who took Natasha under his wing when she was orphaned as a child. Ivan trained Natasha in dance, acrobatics, and gymnastics. "Done, Natasha," Ivan said. "Good." She was the best of his students. Soon, word of Ivan's extraordinary student got around. One day, several government intelligence agents came and took young Natasha away. "Where are we going?" Natasha asked, more curious than frightened. "Your destiny lies in the Black Widow program," one of them answered. Now, Natasha was scared. The agents brought Natasha to the Red Room. There, she would train to become a secret agent. She wasn't alone. Other girls were training there too. The Red Room conditioned Natasha to serve the government above all else. It became her mother, father, sister, and brother. She would defend it, with her life if need be. In the Red Room, Natasha became a fierce fighter, a warrior with few equals. She trained in Aikido, Judo, Karate, and boxing. After many years, Natasha earned the title of the Black Widow. Very few of the Red Room girls ever became Black Widows. It was a tremendous honor. Natasha was given a special uniform and 2 bracelets that fired widow's bite bolts that could take down superhumans. With her new weapons and her flawless training, Natasha would be nearly unstoppable. "I will not fail," Natasha vowed. She knew her duty. It was all she knew, all she was allowed to know. Natasha ran many successful missions as a Black Widow. She was always secret, always dangerous. But once she was away from her trainers, Natasha began to see that what she was doing was wrong. People were getting hurt because of her. She didn't like it, but she didn't know any other way. Natasha encountered a hero called Hawkeye on some of her missions. He was her enemy. She knew that, and she fought him with all her strength every time they met. But there was something about him. Over time, his presence came to feel familiar, almost comforting. It got to where they didn't even want to fight each other anymore. Instead, Natasha preferred just to talk. He was one of the first people who had ever bothered to listen. "You know, you'd think I'd know your name by now," Hawkeye said to her once. "My name's Clint Barton. What's yours?" "Why would you ask me that?" Black Widow said suspiciously. "Because you're a person," Clint replied, like it was obvious. Black Widow didn't respond, because it wasn't at all obvious to her. Hawkeye's question stuck with her. She'd been told for so long that her only purpose was as an agent, trained to serve. Natasha didn't see Hawkeye for a while after that, but eventually, she was sent back to New York on a mission that could hurt many people. She was hoping Hawkeye would find her, and he did. "I don't want to do this anymore," she told him, feeling hopeless. "I can help you," Hawkeye said. "Will you trust me?" Natasha looked at his open, honest face. "Yes," she said.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?